Nicole Hanchi. Hello, Nicole Hanchi here. In today's training, I wanted to share something with you. I've recently done a training session for a mastery group, which is kind of a private session that shared my exact strategies for how I'm using Instagram and Facebook together to generate leads, drive traffic for my business, bring people into my business. And I wanted to kind of make that available more publicly. This is something that I've actually written about in a free ebook that you may or may not have accessed. And so today's training is just kind of an overview of that, and it kind of gives you conceptually what the strategy is, what my thought process is, and what steps you can take to implement this and have these same results in your business. So I've got a PowerPoint. Let me do a quick screen share. So that will guide our conversation today. And whether you're not, I guess I'll say this first, whether or not you're on Instagram, this is still going to be valuable because this is going to give you a thought process, a mindset for exactly how to drive traffic really from anywhere, and how to capture that traffic and convert that traffic into leads, and how to follow up. So even if you're not on Instagram yet, or you're just kind of starting out, or you're not really even sure how to use Instagram, which I can help you with, stick with me here because there's still going to be some value and some nuggets that are going to help you overall with your thought process and developing a strategy for yourself and for your business. So let me just do a screen share. Okay. Okay, now hopefully you can see everything okay. I've got a PowerPoint slide up here with the title, Instagram, Facebook 1-2 punch combo strategy. This is a strategy that I actually developed myself. And again, you can read about it a little bit in more detail in the ebook, the free ebook that I have. And I've got a link for you if you don't have that yet. But the introduction that I have for you, just to kind of give you a background, I had started out, I've been in MLM for almost 3 years now, and I've been mostly offline, just posting a little bit on Facebook, but mostly doing offline strategies until about a year ago. And then just some circumstances changed. Actually, I had another child, and I really needed to do more from home. I really needed to do more from the internet. But I wasn't sure how to do it, so I came online, and thankfully I joined up with a really great community, My Lead System Pro, which you may or may not have heard about, and joined kind of like a sub community called the Networking Superstars, and basically had access to all of the resources that I needed to ramp up quickly. Because I don't know if you know this or not, getting started online can take years and years and years and years, and that's actually a whole other training for a different day. But I would say that jumping in with My Lead System Pro and Networking Superstars literally shaved years off of my learning and implementation curve. And I was able to get up and running and start generating leads pretty much right away. And that's why it's really important that if you don't have something that you're leveraging, if you don't have systems in place and ways of learning new strategies and ways of getting trained on social media platforms, you are missing the boat. And that's something that we talk about a little bit more at the end. But so, here I am, I'm getting started. I've got these awesome, systems and access to all this training, and I've got some stuff in place, but it just wasn't capturing leads. It just wasn't generating any leads. And I really didn't get it, because I was following the steps. I had a blueprint of exactly what I should be doing every day. I had a system in place, and I kind of conceptually I got it, but it hadn't sunk in yet. And so I wasn't generating any leads. So if that is you, I can help you break past that point. It's actually very simple. I know how frustrating it feels. But then once this kind of all sinks in, I think you'll get it. And I think that it'll kind of help you make that breakthrough to start generating your leads, or kind of take your lead generation to the next step. There is no magic dust. I know a lot of times people get hung up. They're out there on the internet just searching for that silver bullet, that magic dust that's just gonna, catapult them into instant success. It just doesn't exist. So stop wasting your time looking for it. There is only hustle. There is only hustle. You have to be resourceful. You have to be willing to put the systems in place. You have to be willing to be trainable and coachable and learn new things to implement, so that you can position yourself as an expert and a leader in this marketplace. And if you don't do that, nobody is ever going to follow you. So it's just as simple as that. So you have to embrace that process of knowing that you have to become a master in something. You have to become an expert in something. You have to decide what your niche is and who your target market is. And again, that's something for a different day. But if you don't have those things outlined for yourself, then we've got some work to do to get you there, because these are just absolutely necessary. And I included a screenshot of a post with from a good friend of mine. He had posted this the day that I put this presentation together, and it says there's a difference between fishing and standing on the shore like an idiot. And I know it sounds kind of harsh and rude, but I was standing on the shore like an idiot, so I get it. You're there, you're standing on the shore, you can see the ocean, the vast ocean of all those fish, but you just can't figure out how to snag a fish on your line. And so that's what today is about. I'm going to show you how I started doing it, how I broke through that. And I stopped standing on the shore like an idiot, and I cast my line in there and I started reeling them in. So before I go into more technical stuff, I want to tell you a little bit about my thought process of why I chose Instagram. So if you're in that place where you're not really sure where to get started, this may help you. The first thing that I will say is Facebook, in my opinion, is a must. You've got to be on Facebook. You have to have a presence on Facebook. And I do also strongly suggest that you start in one place. So get yourself up on Facebook, get yourself a fan page. I know that there's a lot of, oh, is a fan page really worth it? It's hard to get engagement and so forth. I'm gonna tell you exactly why you need to have a fan page if you just stick with me in this training session. So get your presence going on Facebook first and foremost. In your personal profile, you don't want to just be spamming out pictures of your business opportunity. You want to be sharing out things that are going to spark engagement from people, because you don't want to turn your friends off. So you're going to be using your profile as a place to get people to engage with you and build relationships with you, because that is the name of the game. You cannot expect to do things any differently on the internet than you would do face-to-face. And you cannot generate customers for your business or get people to join your team in real life without building a relationship with you. It just doesn't happen. People have to know, like, and trust you before they're willing to make those decisions to buy and to join you. And so it's absolutely no different online. And it's actually even a little bit more challenging, because it's harder to get to know people when you're not face-to-face with them and you're not, in each other's space and sharing energy and personalities and that sort of thing. It's a little bit harder to connect. So I'm also going to touch a little bit later on how you can do that, how the right way to do that. So Facebook is a must. So get yourself on Facebook, start engaging with people, start communicating with people and building those relationships. Now, the thing about Facebook that I'm not going to say is a negative, but it is what it is. It's not a fast-moving platform. And what I mean by that is you are limited to the number of people that you can actually connect with every day. And I try to go on the conservative side, because I don't want to get put in Facebook jail. I don't know if you've ever been in Facebook jail, but it's no fun. They basically cut you off for weeks at a time, which kind of puts your business at a standstill. So I always recommend that you keep it conservative and just connect with 10 people a day, 10 friend requests, no more. And if you're messaging people as well, which you should be, you definitely don't want to be sending the same message cut and paste over and over again, because Facebook also looks for that. They look for people who are just spamming and not really making that effort to build personal and genuine relationships. So it's slow, right? 10 people a day is good, but it's not fast. And so that's why I chose Instagram. Even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, it's a much faster platform to be on. And what I mean by that is you can connect with as many people as you want to throughout the day. You're not limited like you are with Facebook. You can make new connections all day long if you want to. You can follow as many people as you want to. You do get capped off at 7,500, so you want to be mindful of that. But you can connect with as many new people. You can send as many messages, whatever you want to do. But the drawback of Instagram that I've found on my time there, and I've been on Instagram for about a year now, is it's harder to engage than it is on Facebook. It's harder to have that back and forth communication. It's easier for messages that you send or comments that you make to kind of fall through the cracks. If you forget to tag somebody that you're talking to, they may not ever see it, and then the communication is dead. And so that's why I made the decision to start leveraging the two platforms together. So when you're thinking about, if you're trying to make that decision of where should you be, like I said, Facebook is a must. You got to have that. But think about where else what other ponds do you want to go fishing in? Where do you want to go cast your line and try to bring leads in? And I would suggest that you think of a platform that complements Facebook. And that's kind of what I feel Instagram does, because like I say, it's a little faster moving, and you can more easily move people from Instagram over to Facebook so that you can really build that solid relationship with them. So you can connect with tons of them and then just kind of move them over for that genuine relationship building and kind of get them to know, like, and trust you. Okay, so driving traffic. If you are not already active on another platform, or if you're not even really active on Facebook, you have to invest, learn, and teach. And what I mean by that is you have to spend time and money investing in yourself and your knowledge. You have to go out and learn something that you can offer back. Because if you're not sharing value, you're not positioning yourself as somebody that is credible, that is an authority, that's a leader. People are looking for somebody to follow, and they're going to follow people who know something and who are going somewhere. And the only way to show that is through investing in yourself, learning something, and teaching it back out, paying it forward out to other people. And so what I chose to do last year is I chose to go learn how to use Instagram. I went through an intensive course and learned all the little nitty-gritties of how to use Instagram to capture leads and drive traffic into my business. So the important thing is you have to offer value wherever you decide to go that is specific to that platform. So you can't go over onto Twitter and offer tips on how to use Instagram. It's just not relevant. That's a whole different community over there. And while many people will be on multiple platforms, overall it's just going to fall flat because people don't go on a Twitter looking for information about Instagram, right? They go to Instagram for that. So always be mindful of making sure that you're offering value, meeting people where they are, and offering value specific to that platform. So for example, on Instagram, you're going to want to post tips on how to use Instagram, how to grow your business on that platform, everything from little technical ways, little functionality pieces, to the most important piece, which is where you're sending people with your one clickable link, because you only get one click-through link in Instagram and it's in your bio. So if you're on Facebook, you can put clickable links inside of any post. You can put multiple clickable links if you want to, and you can send people anywhere from any of your Facebook posts, but you can't do that on Instagram. You can put a URL in one of your posts, but it's not click-through. And so the likelihood that people actually will follow that link goes down significantly because they can't just click on it, right? Because it's just the psychology of how people work. If it's not easy and fast, they move on. So you always have to be thinking about that. Okay, so you're going to want to, again, offer value that's specific to that platform, and you're going to want to be leveraging some general value. And what I have in here is, as an example, is My Lead System Pro, MLSP, and then NS stands for Networking Superstars, which is the team that I am part of. And those are communities that I leverage that have pretty much everything that you need, that I need to grow our business online. There's nothing else like it out there. And if you want all of your training in one spot, if you want done for you email copy, done for you capture pages where you don't have to go out and figure out what to buy and which trainings to get, and you're all over the place and you got to go here for this and there for that, it's all in one spot. So I can just log into my back office and I can look for, a presentation that I might want to leverage. If there's an upcoming presentation, I'm gonna zip that, that URL. It's already done for me. I'm gonna zip that into a post and drive people over to that capture page that's already done for me. But I'm offering something to them. I'm offering, hey, come to this awesome webinar. You're gonna learn this that you can go implement in your business. So I'm sharing resources. I'm not begging people to come, hey, please come over to my link, or please come give me a like. No. You never want to position yourself in weakness. You always want to be leading with value, right? And so that's why having a solution like the My Lead System Pro platform, where you can honestly tell people, hey, everything that you need to grow your business is in this one place. Go check it out. Simple piece of cake. It's all done for you. There you go. Or, hey, I'm part of this team. We have additional value, additional ways for you to generate income for your business. Come check this out. We've got a presentation. We've got a group hangout. Whatever it is that you've got going on, you have something to leverage. If you have nothing to leverage, if you have nothing to offer, you're not going to capture anybody. People are not going to be looking to you. They're not going to pay attention to you. So you need to think about that. I know a lot of times, you may already have heard lead with value. And in your mind, you're thinking, okay, yeah, I can, maybe you're in health and wellness. Yeah, I can put up health tips. I'm going to put up health tips every day, which is fantastic. But what are people going to do after that? Nothing. They're going to click off because there's nothing there for them, right? So you have to make sure that you're offering something for everybody. I always tell people to use the 80-20 rule. And what that is 80% of the time, you want to be offering the value, the inspiration, tips, resources, that sort of thing that's going to help people grow their business. And then the rest of the time, the 20% of the time, is when you can sneak in specific things about your business. Why is this formula so important? Well, I'm going to tell you. Doesn't it make sense to you that it would be easier to connect with people who already are in the networking market space, the online marketing space, the affiliate marketing space, because they already get it, versus having to convince and help people understand who are not in the industry what the heck it all is? Does it not make sense to you that it is easier to connect with people who are like-minded and already get it? Yes, it does. Trust me, this is the better way to go. It's the path of least resistance, because 90% of those people are struggling in their business anyway, right? And they may love their business, and you're not out there to convince them otherwise, but you're out there to help them. And the great thing is regardless of whether they join your business or not, you're able to make money off of them in the front end that you can invest into your business. So I know I'm getting into a little bit more detail here, but that's kind of an overview of the philosophy of how to work your business online and how, who you should be connecting with. You should not be chasing people who don't have any experience and have no clue, and they're off doing something completely different, and their mindset isn't even focused on starting a business at all. You want to be drawing them in, right? You don't want to be wasting time chasing and convincing. You want to be drawing people in. And the best way to do that is to show people that you can help them with their business, right? And the more you do that, the closer you bring people into your circle of influence, the more they want to work with you, right? So that's kind of how that works. You're kind of drawing them closer and closer into your tangled web that you weave now into your circle of influence. And you always have to be doing that with the genuine thought of trying to help others, because that's why most of us are in this space to begin with, right? We want to help other people. We want to change their lives. I'm giving you the formula for how to do that. Take it or leave it. I'm just telling you what works. Okay, like I said before, you absolutely must position yourself as an expert. If you do not, then nobody is going to be paying attention to what you are saying. Now, you need to decide what that expertise looks like. What's your niche, right? That's up to you, and that's a conversation for another day. But you absolutely need to narrow down on what that looks like for you, and you have to start positioning yourself as that expert, because that's the only way that you're ever going to start hooking people on that line. You know, you're fishing there in the ocean, the big vast ocean. You're never going to hook people if they don't see that you've got something of value for them, that they can follow you and that you will show them the way, right? And you always want to give people a call to action. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're posting, you want to give people a call to action. And that call to action, what that means is you want them to go do something. You know, they've read your post, whatever you've had to say, inspirational message or a business tip or whatever, you want them to take a step. A next step. You don't want them to just click off and go somewhere else. So on Instagram, that's why you've got to make the most of that real estate, that one clickable link in your bio. That needs to send them. You can't send them people to your you cannot send people to your replicated business page. Why? Because it's basically like sending them into a black hole, because you cannot capture their information that way. You'll never know who's actually clicking. You know, you might be able to set up a trackable link for it and see how many clicks you get, but you're never going to know who they are, and you're never going to have their information to follow up. And the fortune's in the follow-up. It just is, because people are not going to buy and join the very first time they see something from you. They're going to have to see things from you multiple times, right? So you want to make sure that you're grabbing their info so that you can make that process happen through your follow-up. So the call to action is key. On Instagram, you always want to make use of the real estate there to drive them up to your clickable link, and that link needs to send them somewhere that you can capture their info. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. I threw in a sample post here just to kind of give you a feel for how to put a post together. And you got to start somewhere. As it says there in the image, you got to start where you are. So if you're nervous about what to write, don't stress out. You know, write a little something, and then if you see there at the bottom here, I've got a big yellow arrow. You want that call to action. Right here, I'm telling them, click the link in my bio. You're going to get access to the 6-step sponsoring sequence, which is the blueprint that I use to generate leads every day, right? And you're also going to get my new ebook, and that's going to help you massively explode your leads. So I've given them that call to action. All they got to do is just head up to my bio and click that link, and boom, I've captured their information. Now I can start connecting further and following up and building that rapport, right? So that's how you leverage the content in your post. Now, I want to just give 3 concepts, just some food for thought. Focus being the first one. That is the hardest one for pretty much all of us. It is so hard to focus. And I understand that more than anybody, because I work at home with my 2 kids. One of them's a baby. So being able to focus is like, oh, it's a rare commodity for me. So, but what I mean by focus is you have to kind of pick a hub. You got to pick a place, and you have to drive everybody to it. Got to drive your traffic. You can't be sending people in circles, or you're going to lose them somewhere along the way. You want to drive them into a hub. What I have set up is I drive my Instagram leads straight into my Facebook fan page. And here's why. I'm just kind of going back to why you need to have a Facebook fan page. You can set up tabs with Social Relationship Manager what I use is called 22 Social, where they can opt in right there on your fan page and provide their email and their follow-up information in order to get access to something that you have to offer. So for me, I'm offering my ebook that I've written that tells them exactly step-by-step how to use Instagram and Facebook together. So they want access to that, and they're also going to get access to the 6-step sponsoring sequence. And that's what I actually designed the 1-2 punch to work in conjunction with. So they're going to give their information to get access to all these goodies that I have. That's why you need a fan page, because you can't set a social relationship manager up anywhere else. And here, you know what? Let me take a second. Let me see if I can share a little bit more of my screen. 1 second. There we go. Okay, let me show you what that looks like real quick. Okay, so by now you should see my whole screen, hopefully. Okay. And of course my Facebook isn't loading. Gotta love the technology, right? Okay. I see it here, but I can't click yet. Here we go. So I'm taking you to my fan page, just to kind of give you an idea of what the heck I'm talking about. So here's my fan page. It looks like everybody else's, right? Here at the top, you see this tab. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And that's going to take you into the 6-step sponsoring tab. This is what you're going to see, okay? If you come visit, you're going to see, oh, I can download, the 6-step sponsoring sequence, and she's already told me she's going to give me a free copy of her ebook. Awesome. So I'm going to click in there, and I'm going to give her my contact information. Oh, they're moving so slow. And that's actually my mentor, Gavin. He's phenomenal. Taught me everything I know. Be dead in the water without him. Okay, so all you have to do is click this button here, and it takes you to where you can enter your information. I hope that's making sense. I hope I'm not getting into too much detail, but I just kind of want you to understand conceptually. Okay, so right here, it's going to confirm that this is the email address I want to give. Sure, sure. So now I'm going to start getting that information at that email address. But now I'm going to show you the administrative side of things. So you've gone and done this, right? Here's what I see. This is all inside my fan page, right? So here are all the people that have opted in and requested more information from me. These are leads, people. These are leads. This is your goal. This is what you're looking for, right? These are my little fishies from the big vast ocean. They're looking for help, and they see some value in what I have to offer. So they're looking for more information. So here are all of my lovely new friends. So now I can just access their profile here. I can grab their email address and send them a quick email and just say hey and connect with them and see what I can do to help them. So do you see the power of this? I hope you're seeing the power of this, because it's been pretty powerful in my business. It's been super powerful, actually. Pretty powerful, doesn't even do it. Okay, so let me go back over here, taking you back over here. Okay, so focus. Like I said, you want to be driving people to one place. And whether or not you want it to be a social relationship manager on your fan page, or if you want to just use a capture page from Lead Pages or from My Lead System Pro, whatever it is that you have or that you want to use is what you should use, where you're driving people to something that captures their email, possibly their phone number, and their name, right? So that you can follow up with them. You can also use a blog. If you're a blogger or you're thinking you want to start off by blogging, you can also set up thinking widget, but inside of your blog where you're capturing their information there as well. But you just want to be focused, right? You want to As you're getting started, you don't want to be sending people everywhere and trying to keep up with where they came from and where they went to. Just drive them into one place and get comfortable with that process before you start branching out. You also need something to leverage. If you don't have something to leverage, you're dead in the water. And what I mean by leveraging is if you're just starting out, if you don't have your own information products, which none of us do, nobody comes onto the internet with information products already in your arsenal. That's not how it works. You come online, you learn things, you have your struggles, and through those you create as you go along, right? So you have to start with something to leverage. And for me, I chose the My Lead System Pro and the Networking Superstars team. Why? Because most of the people, most of the big dogs that you see out there, Ray Higdon, Bill and Michelle Pesco-Solido, April Marie Tucker with Instagram, all of these people came up through My Lead System Pro. So if you didn't know that, now you do. There's the secret sauce. You know what? I guess maybe I lied to you in the beginning. I told you there was no silver bullet, but I lied, because if you're looking for the silver bullet, people, it's My Lead System Pro. And I'll do a little bit more on that another day, but My Lead System Pro, I'll just say this much to you. It has absolutely everything that you need to grow your business online, all in one place for one fee. Instead of going out and doing, not that lead pages is phenomenal, but $70 a month out here for lead pages, and then you're going over here to buy an email autoresponder, and then you're going over here to buy this training package and that training package. Stop. Just go to one place. Avoid overwhelm. Make things as simple as possible for yourself. My Lead System Pro has it all. Everybody that's come up through the ranks, all these big people, there are 7 years worth of their trainings inside of this back office. 7 years of gold nuggets from the industry's leaders. If you don't think that's worth some value, then you've fallen off your rocker, people. But yeah, it's absolutely the best solution to leverage, in my opinion, particularly for anybody who wants to get started with done-for-you resources and positioning yourself as an expert right away, which is possible. It really is possible. And don't let the negative Nellies in your head tell you otherwise. So for me, what I leverage are the things that are inside My Lead System Pro, but more than that, I have Networking Superstars, and we're basically a team within that community, and we work closely together. I showed you a picture of Gavin Mountford. He's kind of our fearless leader and my mentor, and he allows us to leverage his 6-step sponsoring sequence, which is basically how he rose up through the ranks and how he became a multi-6-figure earner online as well. And he's fully transparent and just lays it all out there and walks you through exactly what to do, these 6 steps every day to grow your business. And so that's what I leverage. And I chose that because it's how I personally found my success online, was through that process. And it's what I designed my Instagram, Facebook 1-2 punch strategy to work in conjunction with. So so you see there how I started to develop, right? I started off leveraging somebody else's content, leveraging their emails, leveraging their products, leveraging their sequence, their systems. I leveraged other people's stuff to kind of springboard, right? And now I have my own products. I'm developing my own system. I have my own system already. I'm just putting it into a formal training class. I coach people. I mean, so you see how that process works, but you have to start somewhere with something, okay? Differentiation is so key. And I know you might be sitting there in the back of your mind thinking, well, I've heard of My Lead System Pro. And I know a lot of people doing My Lead System Pro. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You have to take whatever it is you decide to leverage and differentiate yourself somehow, okay? You have to make yourself stand out in some way, to be different, to offer something a little bit different, a little bit more than what the person next to you is. Those are the people who become the 1% and 2%, who rise, up to the cream, and separate themselves from the rest. you're going to see a lot of people promoting the My Lead System Pro generic Instagram training. You may or may not have seen that. I'd be surprised if you hadn't. And that's a good thing. You know, they're leveraging that training. They're getting started. But I decided I wanted to take that next step. I was ready. So that's why I created my own thing. I created my own strategy. I put together in a 20-page ebook that step-by-step helps people do the same exact thing. And you cannot get that anywhere else. That's mine. It's the only one of its kind. And so that's how I made myself different, how I showed that I have a little bit more, a little bit something else to give than everybody else out there. So I encourage you to always be thinking in those terms of how can you make it your own, right? Because we're all different and you don't want to get lost in the sea of everybody else doing the same thing. You want to stand out. And I know at first you might be thinking, oh, I don't know how to do that. It'll come, trust me, it'll come. Just start somewhere, start leveraging something, and but always have that in your mind. Just always have it in the back. And it'll just start to come together slowly but surely. Now, I do post Instagram-specific content. If you go over to my profile, I'm Nicole Hanchi on Instagram. You're going to see everything from Instagram-specific biz tips for how to use the functionality. You'll see Insta updates that I've been doing a lot of those lately because Instagram's been releasing some pretty cool new functionality that I'm sharing so that people are aware. You're also going to see general biz tips, general inspiration. But I've positioned myself as the girl who leverages Instagram and Facebook together. And a lot of people want that because I will tell you that somewhere around 90+% of the people who are on Instagram for their business are also on Facebook. And they're on Instagram because Facebook isn't working out so great for them. It's not moving fast enough, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. So what I do, and I showed that to you back earlier in the sample post that I shared, is I tie things in together. So I try to, I'll put up an Instagram update or an Instagram biz tip, and then I'll say, hey, if you like this, if you want more on how to use Instagram to grow your business, then click the link in my bio. Here's what you're going to get. And I tell them a little bit about the 6 steps and my ebook, right? And I get leads every single day. Every single day. Here's a cool equation. You may want to write this down. I didn't actually put it in the PowerPoint, but it's super important. It's going to help you. I want you to remember this. If you do decide to go over to Instagram, it's going to help you with the right mindset. Here's the simple equation. The more you post plus the more you engage equals the more leads you generate. The more you post plus the more you engage equals the more leads you will generate. Actually, here. Let me just going to add that in there. Instagram equation. All right. The more you post plus the more you engage equals the more leads you generate. And that's what you want, right? Isn't it simple? I'm telling you, if you're willing to put up 3 posts a day, now if you can put up 5, that's fantastic. But I mean, I'm juggling a 3-ring circus here, and I feel accomplished when I've gotten up, 2 to 3 posts, because you also want to spend time interacting with people and engaging with people. But I kid you not, every time I post, it generates leads for me every single time. It's phenomenal. And don't let anybody tell you, I got hung up in the beginning about posting at the right time of day. And yeah, that helps. That helps get people's eyes on your posts. But remember that Instagram is being used by people all around the world, not just people in your time zone. So I actually did a little test because when I had originally been trained, I was told, you don't have to worry so much about it on the weekends. But I actually did a little test Sunday night. Most people are kind of gearing up for the week. They're busy with family stuff. But I started throwing up just a little inspirational post. And Monday morning, I'm telling you, I would open up my email and I would have tons of leads. So the most important thing that I would tell you is don't get hung up on stuff like when to post. Just post. Post it when you can. You know, if you can't get a post up at 6 in the morning, just get it up when you can. You know, don't say to yourself, oh, well, I missed the 6 a.m. post. You know, I guess I gotta wait till noon. No, get the post up. Because I'm telling you, the more posts you get up there, the more leads you're gonna generate. It's just as simple as that. And that's why I love Instagram, because it is really just that simple. Okay, hit them from all sides. What the heck am I talking about here? You're gonna see I've got a little diagram over here on the right-hand side just to illustrate sort of my flow and how I have, you know, people kind of driving in to my hub and how I'm kind of being present everywhere they go. Because like I said to you earlier, people are not just gonna see something from you the first time and join or buy from you. It just doesn't, it's not the psychology of things. People need to see something, you know, at least 7 or 8 times. And then they also have to move through there's like a cycle, a buying cycle process, a mindset. They have to be in that mindset that they're ready. So you have to kind of catch that part too. So what I do is I drive them from Instagram and I get them over onto Facebook, right? And I connect with them personally as much as I can. That's not always going to be possible, but I do try to connect with people personally. And then I also drive them into my fan page. Now I don't, here's something that you want to be mindful of. If it is not something that you would say to a person walking up to them for the very first time, then don't send it to them in the very first message that you ever send. Just use your common sense. I think somehow people, you know, like this morning, I woke up to Instagram and somebody that literally I had just connected with, hadn't said a word between us yet, just connected with them yesterday. I woke up this morning and they were inviting me to a boot camp. Well, first of all, I don't even know who you are. We've never interacted. I don't need a boot camp. So you're not providing with any kind of solution that I'm looking for, right? You've not taken the time to get to know me. So what did I do? I ignored it. So just always remember, the first thing that you should be saying to people is, hi, it's great to connect. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the accepting my friend request. It's so great to connect. You know, how you doing today? Be a real person, and I'm telling you, it will make all the difference. It will make the difference between you and the person next to you who spams their link the very first time. Because I'll be honest with you, 0% chance of success with that strategy. If you're sending a first message to somebody and you're not even bothering to get to know them or find out what they need, you know, what kind of solutions they need, and you're literally just pushing information at them, 0% chance of success. Yeah, not even like a fraction. So just always be mindful of keeping your communications as you would in real life. So, you know, I connect with them, I send them a message, you know, a private message, get a little bit of communication going on there. You know, I spend time connecting with them on their posts, commenting, liking, engaging, and that sort of thing. And then once a week, I go through my list, and for the people that I feel like I've developed a good rapport with, that's when I invite them to my fan page. And I think that's a big mistake that people make. They just spam, you know, here's my fan page, or here's my group page. I'm just gonna add you in without even asking you. Don't ever do that. Because people, if they're not looking for it, if it's not their decision to either like your fan page or join your community, they're not going to engage with you. It's just how it is. So you're only hurting yourself by doing that, because you're basically cutting them off from the very start, right? You're cutting off that opportunity to develop that genuine relationship, right? Because they're just feeling that you're pushing stuff at them. So, you know, like I said, once a week, if I feel like I've got a great rapport with somebody and you know, I got a good sense of where they are with their business, and that they might be, or that they are interested in business tips and resources and tools for growing a business, and my fan page content is applicable to that, that's when I invite them to it, right? So I'm offering that as a solution. and I only invite, right? Because I also have a community page. You may want to go check that out, Social Media Marketers United. It's awesome. It's brand new, but it's pretty cool. I share Instagram tips, and I'll be branching off into some more some other cool stuff as well. But it's a great community to come on in and share wisdom and develop relationships with other people, because participating in communities is one of the fastest ways to network inside of Facebook. Just a little hint there for you. So so I'm driving them to my fan page. Also driving them into my, you see it there in the middle as the 22S, which stands for the 22 social app that I use in my Facebook fan page, which is where I'm capturing them, capturing them like a hostage. No, I'm capturing their email, right? And so that's when I can also follow up on email. So now they're seeing me everywhere, right? They're seeing me on Instagram. They've connected with me on Facebook. We've got a rapport going on. Hopefully they think I'm a cool chick, right? They've popped over to my fan page. They're digging that too. And then at one point they see, ooh, she's got some goodies, some Instagram goodies. I'm going to go check that out. And they're coming into my 22 social. So if they didn't head in there straight from Instagram, I'm kind of driving them in the roundabout way. So you see there, I'm not pushing, right? I'm kind of like herding, gently herding little sheeps, right, into my clutches. But you see that I try to do it as a gentle process. And so I would encourage you to have that mindset and not be out to get people. This isn't a race. You're not out to, oh, I gotta hurry up and get them into my, into my email autoresponder. I gotta do it today or I'm gonna lose them forever. No, just relax. Stop trying to get people. You're there to help, right? So let the rapport building happen. Let the time happen. However they come into you, and just kind of gently encourage them toward the value and the solutions that you have to offer. Okay, so you definitely want to make the effort to engage with them. You can't just expect them to come engage with you just because you think, oh, I've got all this value that they need, so I don't need to, to waste my time reaching out to them. They should be coming to me. And yeah, you want to be drawing them in, but you also want to be reaching out to people. And like I said, building that genuine rapport, because you want to uncover if they're a candidate for any of the solutions that you have to offer, right? They may not be. And that doesn't mean you don't need to continue building that rapport with them, because you never know, down the road, you may have something that they're interested in. They may want to work with you in another capacity. So this is just however you decide to whatever platforms you're using, just make sure that they're seeing you in multiple ways, right? Because that's the key. Because that's the only way that they're going to get to know, like, and trust you. Okay? And that's what it's all about. So you want to be following up with people. Always following up. The fortune's in the follow-up. Just checking in. Hey, how you doing? I see you grabbed my ebook over the weekend. Did you get the email okay? Yeah? Okay, great. You know what? I'll give you some time with it, and I'll check back with you. But do you have any questions in the meantime? Like, I'm just here to help you. I'm just here to help. No, it's great. Awesome. Thanks. Okay. Thank you so much for checking back. Yep. No problem. You're not going to get that brick wall of, well, why don't they respond to me? I sent them my stuff, because you're not trying to help them. You're trying to get them. And people can feel that. They can smell it a mile away. So always be mindful. Always put yourself in those shoes on being on the other side of that fence. And remember that it's not something that you would appreciate or respond to either. Right? So you can totally do this. I'm telling you, people, if I could do this, you can do this. You have to have something to leverage, though, I will tell you that. So if you're out there and you're active and you're getting your posts up and you're standing on the shoreline like an idiot and you're just not hooking anybody and you just can't figure out why, you've got to get a system in place. You've got to get something like what I'm describing to you in place, where you're purposefully driving people somewhere that you can capture them, that you have an infrastructure, a system in place to offer them value, to follow up with them somehow. You have to have those things. If you don't, if all you're doing is sending them to your replicated site, it's like sending them into Never Never Land. They're a black hole, they're gone forever. You're never gonna know who they are. You're never gonna know that they were interested. You'll have no way to hit them from all sides, right? You'll have no way to follow up with them. And that's where it's at. That's like the critical piece. If they're not seeing you, if they're not getting to know, like, and trust you, if they're not hearing from you, then you're out of mind. They've moved on to something else, right? They're going to go get snatched up by somebody else who does capture them and is going to keep putting themselves in front of them. So stop pushing people into a black hole and start capturing them as leads and being purposeful with your activities. Everything that you do should be for the purpose of helping through your resources and giving them a call to action so that you can capture them as a lead, okay? Now, I guess I talk a little bit here in the leverage piece. Like I've described to you, I leverage my Lead System Pro and the Networking Superstars in specific because we have, a lot more that's kind of already done for us. It's done for you systems, done for you emails that help differentiate beyond the My Lead System Pro. And I talked to you about that earlier, about how important it is to differentiate yourself. So whatever you decide to leverage, you want to make sure that you're kind of tying in what you're doing with those points of leverage, right? So your calls to action, everything that you post, every piece of content that you get out there should be leveraging something, whether it's you choose to do My Lead System Pro or whatever. I'm not sure what else would be out there for you to leverage, but you may have some team systems in place that you can leverage. Whatever it is, you got to leverage something. You got to leverage a system. And then again, differentiation. How can you take what you have in front of you, whether it's, something within My Lead System Pro or Networking Superstars, or your team has replicable systems, how can you make that different? How can you make that more unique to you and make yourself stand out as somebody who has a little bit of something different, a little bit something more to offer people? Because people are always looking for a little something more. They want that edge, right? That's what we all want. We're all trying to get that edge. So you have to always be thinking about how you can do that. And the best way, obviously, to do that is by creating a free offer, something of value, like the ebook that I've referenced to you, of how I use Instagram and Facebook together. That's a great start for differentiating yourself. Putting something of value together that you've written personally. You say you go out and you put some systems in place and you generate your very first lead. That's exciting. You have to start somewhere. There are people out there, and you may be one of them, and I was one of them a year ago, who I couldn't get a lead to save my life. And I couldn't figure out how. And even with everything in front of me, I still couldn't, I didn't get it. So there are so many people who need help with that. And, even just that one, you might be thinking, oh, it's just one lead. But it is one lead. It is the start of so much more to come. And it gives people hope. And that's what we need to do. And we need to pay that forward. There was somebody out there that gave me hope, right? And basically handed me something to leverage and kind of guided me through that to where I now stand strong on my own and I can generate leads at will. And I know exactly how to bring them into my business. I wasn't in that place a year ago. I needed help. Yeah, we can't get there by ourselves. We have to help each other up together, right? So if you don't have that, if you don't have a mentor, community, colleagues in place that can help you in that way, you've got to reach out. You got to find somebody. Send me a message. I'm here to help you. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm being fully transparent with what I'm doing here. There is abundance out there. I am not scared that you're going to go out and take what I'm sharing with you today and crush it. And, I want that for you. I want you to break through that place where you might be of sitting on the shore trying to figure out why you can't get a lead. It's literally just a tiny shift. It's right there in front of you, and I can help you do that, right? And I hope that something of what I've shared here with you in this training session does that for you as well, okay? But if you don't have a support network, get one, right? Get one, reach out. It doesn't have to be somebody in your MLM. You know, my support, my colleagues and mentors are not in my MLM, right? And that's okay. We're here to help each other, right? And if you're not finding those people, because I know what that's like. I know how frustrating it is to be reaching out for help and getting nothing in response, right? And I just kept reaching until I finally broke through and found people who were willing to help me and pay it forward, who had that mindset of abundance. There is plenty for all of us. And it's up to us to work together and make that happen. Whoops. I had to turn my notifications off, right? That just ruined my soapbox moment. All right, so anyway, climbing off the soapbox now. Got some resources here for you. I know you can't really cut and paste out of this video, so I went ahead and put them in the description as well. Just some relevant resources of different things that I've referenced in this session today. If you are interested in My Lead System Pro, if you just want to see what the heck I'm talking about, click on that link and go. There's going to be a video for you to watch that's going to explain a little bit more, or feel free to reach out to me and I can tell you a little bit more about what, you know, why My Lead System Pro is where you need to be and all that it has to offer to help you get going with your business. Now, you've heard me mention Networking Superstars. We're actually a community within My Lead System Pro, very tight-knit community. We work very closely together, and we have additional resources and steps that make it even easier to use what we have to offer with My Lead System Pro. We kind of make it a little more simple to help even people who are just literally just getting started, which is where I was a year ago. I had no experience on the internet whatsoever, no idea where to start, and now, you know, I'm a leader in the community. You know, and my business is light years away from where it was just 1 year ago. So check that out. If you haven't grabbed a copy of my ebook, here's the link for that, the Instagram, Facebook 1-2 Punch Combo Strategy. It is awesome. It's pretty much the overview that I gave you today. It's pretty much the nitty-gritties of how, basically how to leverage those two platforms together to explode your business. And then I would love to connect with you, you know, just to connect, be in touch, and orbit in each other's realms. Here are my contact points of contact on the various, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and my fan page. And you know what? I guess let me write this in here for you. I'd love to also have you do a search for that in Facebook. That's my new community. It's awesome. The cool thing about it, let me just, yeah, I'm gonna drop another nugget before I sign off here. And I should have done this back in the Facebook page, but the cool thing about starting your own community, if you're ready to do that on Facebook, is the viral exposure. And what I mean by that is you're gonna get people that are gonna somehow magically and mysteriously find their way into your community page, and you have no idea who these people are. No idea. Because, you know, I've got Social Media Marketers United, and Sally joins, you know, my team, or I'm sorry, my community page, and then Frank sees Sally join, so Frank thinks, ooh, what is this? And he goes and checks it out, and he says, ooh, this is cool, I want this stuff, and he joins. And then Bob sees what Frank just joined, and he comes and checks it out, right? So I'd always heard about the viral nature of community, and, you know, I hadn't gotten around to it. You know, I was busy with other stuff. So a couple of weeks ago, I started up the community, and literally within a matter of 2 days, I saw the power, the viral power of having people come into the group and request access that I had no idea who they are. I wasn't connected to them in any way, shape, or form, but I am now. You know, and the cool thing is I'm able to share value with them, and never would we have found each other, right? We may never have found each other. So, so yeah, come join. It's awesome. It's fun. Be part of that. It's a great way to network and meet other people in this space and get colleagues. And like I was saying before, if you're looking for some support, here's a great place. That's why I created this, so that we can help each other out and grow together. So with that message, I will sign off. I hope you found value in this. If you did, go ahead over to my fan page and make a comment, because I'm going to post this up in there. Or just shoot me a note and let me know that you loved it. I hope that you did. And again, if you need help, I'm here. Don't hesitate. You know where to find me, right? All right, guys. Have a great day. Take care.